Hi guys and welcome. So today's video is a little different. I am going to actually show you guys how to book your dining reservations. Going to be either on a computer or going to be on the My Disney Experience app on your phone. So dining reservations can be booked 60 days out prior to your trip. So that means from the day you check in, you have 60 days backwards from that, which as a travel agent, I can see all of that on our side. So I can tell you exactly when, hey, your reservations are about to open on such and such day. They open at, 6 a.m. that day. So bright early, I'm up with you if you need me to. If not, this is what this video is going to be about to kind of help you guide you through, or anyone else that just has questions and wants some information about it. So let's talk about that today a little bit and how we book those dining reservations. Okay, so we're going to start on the computer first to do some dining experience reservations. So you can book everything from any sit-down meal that Disney's going to offer from every park, Disney Springs, then all of the resort hotels, sit-down restaurants, they're all going to be on here. And then you're also going to be able to book any of the character dinings. And the cool thing about the new update with the My Disney Experience dining packages, or the dining booking, I guess, sorry, not the packages, it now is going to show you which ones are character breakfast, character dinings, and etc. from there. So I like that a lot. So it's not really a guessing game because there are a few restaurants like Ohana that it's a character breakfast in the morning, but then like lunch, no, they don't offer lunch. Dinner there is not character. So it's kind of can be confusing for people because they think, oh, I'm going to get a character experience for dinner. And then you turn out you don't because it was just breakfast. So I like now that when you go to book it on the computer or even on your phone, it's going to now show you, hey, this one has character breakfast and this one has no characters at dining. So I like that a lot. So now we're going to log on here. So you're going to log on to the mydisneyexperience.com on your website. And then I am already logged in. So I'm going to turn you a little bit so you guys can see this. Okay. So you're going to go here to this. And it's going to have, your plans, all of this, etc. You're going to go down to reserve dining. Now, bear with me on my computer, could be a little slow today. You're going to say how many are in your party. You can go all the way up to 20 before it's like, hey, nope, too many. I have yet to book that many people for a dining reservation. The most I've booked is 12, and we've gotten pretty lucky. So let's just say we are a family of 4. And then it's going to give you the dates. Now this is where I go back to, you can book it 60 days prior to your trip, etc. So it's showing me 60 days on this calendar. Let's just say I want to look for a reservation on August 6th. And then it's going to let you actually select dates. If you're going to be there for a week or if you're going to be there from, Wednesday through Sunday, you're going to be able to select that range. Then you can also hit next. And then it's going to now ask you, sorry, words are hard today again. Now it's going to ask you which time frame. If you want morning, if you want more towards the evening, if you want just to leave it wide open. I usually leave it wide open because I'm never 100% sure unless you're for sure set that you want breakfast or you're looking for dinners or you're looking for lunchtime at this point. This part is new. It's always kind of asked you timing, but never had this little thing where it goes back and forth. So this is new. I like that. And then this is also going to be new. It's going to be filter search by areas. There's always been a filter, but it's been after the fact of getting on things, not quite as soon as you go to search. I'm going to search everywhere because I'm just going to kind of give you guys a breakdown of it. It's going to do its little magic and do its little circling, and then we're going to get there. Okay, cool. So we are finally here. With the date range, it's actually going to give you Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. All of them are going to be up here for you to choose. Then you're going to just scroll down, and then here's what I was talking about with the breakfast character dining, dinner character dining. That's where it's going to show you that that meal is going to be a character dining or not a character dining. And then see, these are not character. They don't have any characters, so they're just going to say lunch. then be our guest isn't really, you just see the beast and he doesn't even introduce you guys, doesn't even come to your table. So it's, for me, that's not really one that I would be like, yes, that is a character meal. So then you're just going to scroll through and it is going to show you everything. We've got, you know, the cake bake here, which is at the boardwalk. We've got California Grill, the Contemporary Resort. We've got Chef Art Smith Homecoming at the Disney Springs. Literally everything is going to pop up here unless you put a filter on. So then once you click on that, you're going to select that. So let's say we're going to do the 7:30 at the Cape May Cafe breakfast. Then you're going to do all this. It's going to ask you if you have any dietary requests or if you need accessibility request. Wow, again, words are hard today. Sorry, guys. And that's just pretty much if you need wheelchairs. And so then you're going to continue on. It is going to ask you for your phone number. You're going to enter your phone number, and then you're going to, once you go past that, it's going to ask you for a card. Now, some people freak out about the card part. Not always lovely, but this is going to be, it's going to tell you right here, it's going to be for their cancellation policy on the Disney experience. That if you cancel in less than so many hours or so many such a short time notice, then you will be charged a fee. Now, we have canceled reservations up to, I think, 2 hours prior to, and we have not been charged that fee. So if you cancel it 2 hours prior, you should be okay without being charged that fee. Now, if you need to modify it, that is totally okay, but you also cannot do that up to, I think, an hour prior to your reservation. I'd have to double check on that. But once that has been, you go through all of that, it's going to say next, and then it's going to ask you, I agree, confirm. So then also back to kind of while we're waiting on it, to modify your reservations. You can do all of this also on the app. So once you have booked these, they're going to show up. So here's going to be your confirmation, but then it is going to show up in your plans. And when you go to your plans, it's going to be there. Possibly, it's just taking its time. But once you get there, you can go and see this reservation. We've got a lot. It's going to be right here. You can change your reservation. You can update the guest. You can cancel the reservation. So if you want to change the reservation, it's going to do the same thing. And it's going to kind of show you what you just saw. It's just going to kind of show you some availabilities. You're going to hit next. And then it's going to show you the times again. Again, it's going to show you character breakfast versus dining, not having character. So you can definitely change the times. And like I said, I have done that up to 2 hours prior to a dining reservation. I have modified it because, you know, change of plans with little ones. You never know how that's going to go. So then let's go back down. And then you're going to go here. Okay, let's just cancel this reservation because I don't need this reservation. So then it's going to cancel. Ta-da! All canceled. Super easy on that factor. But then let's see. So let's go back to the dining reservations. And also another thing on the modifying your reservations and canceling them, if something is to happen with little ones. So back to the talking about like the modification of your reservations, especially like if you have little ones and something comes up or it's raining and you're not going to make it to that reservation in time or something, there is a number that's going to be on the My Disney Experience app, and you can call that phone number, and it goes through like a prompt thing where it kind of asks you some simple questions, and then it's going to ask you, and then you can either, you know, cancel it via that way. I do believe you still get the charge if you cancel it that way versus if you call and modify it. So say your dinner reservations is at 6:30 and it's 6 o'clock and you know you're not going to make it or something's happened or you're stuck somewhere and you call and cancel it completely. I do believe you still get charged. Might need to look into that. But then if you modify it, you can push it back and you're not going to get that charge. It's still going to just push your reservations back if they have availability. Now, we did find out on our last trip, we had a reservation booked at the boardwalk at one of the restaurants. And come to find out, like, my son wasn't quite feeling the reservation time frame. We were in that, like, stage where it was like, we were hungry, he wasn't hungry, he wasn't ready to sit still. He had been stroller bound most of the day, so we were like, okay, let's go do something else and then come back. So we actually went into the restaurant that we had reservations with, and we said, hey, we have reservations. Can we push them back? What can we do with that? And she said, well, I'll go ahead and cancel them, but then I'll put you guys, when you guys come back, you just can be put on the wait list, which I'm not sure that every restaurant offers the wait list. I think it's just kind of according to, you know, availability and how busy they are and time of day versus time, like, you know, time of year and stuff. Which I feel like the resort restaurants are more likely to have a wait list than some of the restaurants that are going to be at the parks and stuff. But, and I know Disney Springs, I feel like a lot of them have that wait list option possibly too. They just really prefer reservations, and I get it. You know, they want to kind of stay on a schedule and stuff like that. But we were able to walk in and say, hey, and it was, I think it was like 15 minutes prior to our reservations, or it could have been, it might have been like right on our reservation time. We said, hey, our son's not ready, like my son's not ready to eat. Can we either push it back? What can we do? We don't want to pay the fee. Walked in, she said, nope, don't worry about it. You're not going to have to pay the fee. And then she said, just if you want to come back, we will put you on the wait list then, and you might have a 10 or 15 minute wait, possibly depending on time frame. And so we were able just to do that, and it was great because I didn't have to worry about, oh my gosh, we're going to get the fee, or I didn't have to call anyone. I didn't have to do anything special, which it was at a resort, so I was able to walk down there, walk in, say, hey, this is what's going on. We're going to go for a little bit of a walk with him, let him play, and then we'll see where he's at with that. They were totally fine with it. Disney's pretty good about stuff like that, especially with little ones. They understand there's quite a few little ones at Disney. So that was kind of one of the things with modifying that was a really good, like, hey, this is kind of a nice little benefit to have. And a lot of people don't know about that, I guess, that you can either call, modify. They just feel like, oh no, I'm stuck with this reservation. No, Disney will work with you. But yeah, definitely don't hesitate to ask someone about stuff like that, because you never know. You could, you know, luck out, or you could pay the fee if you just forget about it and don't ask questions. And I feel like no one wants to pay any extra money, especially at Disney, because it's already expensive. So don't pay the fee. Don't quote me what the amount of it is right now. On top of my head, I want to say it's 20, but I also want to say it's 50. So I'm not 100% sure on that one. So we're going to go back to my computer screen again, and then I'm going to show you again. Let's get you lined up. Nope, too much in my coffee. Right there. Okay, so I've got you back. So let's pick a party of 6. Let's go for that. Let's do like a Saturday night. Now, one thing about booking let's just select one day this time. Let's not do a range. One thing about booking your reservations right at that 60-day mark is you are going to be guaranteed, most likely, some of those harder reservations, which are going to be some of those character dining reservations. So that's why a lot of people do like to get up and do the booking of the reservations right away. So again, it's going to show us everything. Let's turn on the filter on this way. So this is also going to show you the filters this way. Let's pick a park. So let's do the Magic Kingdom area. So this is going to give you resorts and Magic Kingdom itself. So again, yeah, because this is the Disney Grand Floridian, Magic Kingdom Park, Contemporary. So then filter again, you can add to the filters. You can add the character dining, dining events, dining shows, casual dining, reservations accepted, breakfast. There are so many different things you can add. So then okay, those are all going to be resorts. I thought there was one just for Magic Kingdom, but I guess it's just Magic Kingdom area. And then right here you can do the theme park dining. So that's going to give me directly Magic Kingdom area. So then once I click there, again, going to show me, which actually this Cinderella's Royal Table is usually fully booked on that 60-day mark, if not closed. And I am so surprised. I guess August 9th isn't really a crazy busy time, especially for a group of 6. That is surprising. But yeah, so you can see here, now this one is going to require either 2 dining credits if you have the Disney dining plan, or it's going to ask you to prepay for your meal. So let's go ahead and do this, and let's just show. Obviously, I'm not going to pay for this right now. It is going to ask you the mix of how your party is, because when you do the 6-point count of people, it's including your infants always and children. So say you have, 4 adults, 1 under this, and then 1 infant. It is going to show you your grand total right here. It is then going to, because this is one of the only ones that I know of that you have to prepay. Again, it's going to ask you if you have any add-ons, blah, blah, blah. You're going to continue. It is then going to ask you a phone number, and then it is going to ask you for payment. And you will have to pay this today, and it does include your tip and tax and everything. Granted, it's kind of nice to prepay for this because then you don't have to worry about it on the day of, and that's really nice. But at the same time, a lot of people aren't prepared for the bill right now either when booking. So that is something. Now, if you have the Disney dining plan, when you book this, it will give you the option, because you are logged in and your thing knows that you will have the dining plan. It will say that you have it won't tell me that because I don't have the dining plan right now, but it will tell me that to click a button that says the Disney dining plan guarantee, and you can click that. And then you do not have to prepay for it because you have the dining plan. So that's how that would work. So one of the things about booking your dining reservations also is there is 408 dining options available to book is what, well, I guess let's rephrase that. There's 408 dining options available throughout Disney. That is not what's going to be able to be booked pre-booked, because I think that is including quick service, table service, character dining, etc. Like that's all of Disney's dining when you look up on the Disney dining website. So now quick services, obviously you don't have to book reservations. You just are going to book any table services or character. I highly, highly recommend booking any character dining like right at that 60-day point if you know which ones you're going to want, just because those do seem to fill up a little faster, especially for some of those more popular ones. Like Ohana is a really big one, just because a lot of people love Stitch. You get to meet Stitch, Lilo, Mickey, and Pluto, which my son loves that one because he's a big Pluto person. So Pluto and Stitch were big favorites for him last time. So that one fills up really fast. Chef Mickey's used to be a really big one that was like super quick and went. I would say it's not anymore. It's, I see a lot of dining reservations available for it, just because I think the food, it's a buffet style, and I don't think it's as popular. The food's okay, and I've just heard the character meet and greet for that one has seemed rushed for a lot of people compared to some of the others. We have not personally done that one yet. We're still kind of in the mix of getting to try a lot of the character dinings. Just for the fact of my son just turned 3. So for us, like, we were in that stage where he was kind of afraid of the characters. So like dining with them was not always, his top priority. So we're just now starting to get more into it. So like I'm hoping we can try out some more of the character breakfasts and like dining here soon, because I am itching to try some of them, that's for sure. So a lot of them, I've done a lot of research on them, but we've tried a handful. There's then a handful of them that I still want to try. And then obviously there's the ones with all the princesses, which again, would love to try, and we will, trust me, we will. Just with a toddler boy, sometimes I'm like, they seem great and everything, and he loves he loves princess, he loves anything Disney at this point. So to him, it's not a big thing. I just, sometimes having a girl versus a boy, the princess is a little better. So we've always just tried to do the things that were more Mickey, Pluto, Goofy, the Fantastic Five characters, more like that side of things. And we have for the princess side of things, we've just not really, wanted to do those experiences yet with him. Mommy here being a travel agent, I'm sure one day we will be doing those just so I can check them out for everyone because I want to. But yeah, that's one thing different about having boys versus a girl. I definitely will have to say that. Quick coffee break. This might be my third coffee today. Iced coffee, I guess. I had one hot coffee this morning, 2 ice. This is my second ice, I guess. So it's one of those days. But again, back with the dining reservations too, another thing is, I have tried a lot of the dining reservation or dining places that require reservations throughout. I'm working through a list. My list is, of course, those 408 places. I'm trying them all. That is the one perk of doing what I do. I love being a travel agent for that side of things. I like to go to Disney a lot just for the fact of like, I want to stay at this hotel. I want to eat at this restaurant. I want to try this out so that I can return and be like, okay, we had this. It was okay. Or we did this, loved this, hated this, that sort of thing. And then so another thing with like booking dining reservations with like using a travel agent versus doing yourself. My clients are 100% able to either let me do it fully or them do it 100%, or we half and half it. Or we do a guidance thing where it's like, they book some of them and then, they're asking me questions, or they need something changed, or they're looking for like a harder to get reservation. They need help. They need recommendations. So I'm there 100% for my clients all the way through. I've had clients who have, we've talked it through the week before and been like, okay, they're going to do it themselves. And they're going to be like, I want this reservation, this reservation, this reservation. And then I kind of bounce back a little bit of the strategy of like, hey, okay, well, this reservation here is going to book faster than the reservation here. So you need to start with this one and then book this one and then book this one. Like kind of out of popularity of like what I have personally seen in my experience. And then I have clients who we half and half it. I had a client one time where she was logged in, I was logged in. I booked like 2 or 3 of them for her and she booked 2 or 3 of them for her. Again, she was there during like Christmas time, so it was like prime. Everyone was booking like reservations at that point because it was like Christmas, the week after Christmas or the week after Christmas is like the craziest time to go to Disney. But props to the people that do it. I don't think I'm going to be that person ever. Maybe one day, maybe, but not yet. So like we were half and halving it. She booked some, I booked some. And then I've had clients who they are like, here is my Disney experience login. Please do what you can. These are what we want. We've talked it all through. And I go through and I bam, bam, bam. I book everything. And then there was even one that was like for the group of 12 that I was on the phone for 45 minutes trying to get a reservations for something because sometimes I've noticed, and it could be different now that they've updated it and changed it a little bit. But the old version of it, when you had more than 5, 6, 7, 8 people, when you got into those 10s, 20, 10, 15, 20 people, it was starting to show me that there was very limited reservations available. So then I called and she's like, oh, we could do this, or we could do 2 tables of 6. But that is something that you cannot personally do on your own because you can't do 2 reservations at the same time at the same place, even if the numbers are different. Disney does require like a differential in the time frame of your reservation. So you can't have one at 1:30 and then have one at 1:35, even though it shows that they're available. You can't have 2 reservations on your account. Now, if you have someone else that you're splitting it up with and they're going with you on the trip, you could definitely do that. But like as far as like the one person who's in charge of everything could not have 2 reservations together, I guess, if that makes sense. But they can if we call. We do the Disney experience. There is a dining phone number that you can call, but then also I have a personal dining reservation travel agency phone number that I call, and I was able to get that client they had like one restaurant, they had all 12 were together. We were able to get that. And then the next restaurant, they had 2 sets of like 6 and 6. And it was like Cinderella's Royal Table or something like that. And we were able to still get that reservation with having the double reservation because I was able to call, which is super helpful. And, you know, you can still call as a client person and doing it on your own, 100% you can call. Do I know how long of a wait time you'll have versus like if you had like a travel agent who could call? Absolutely not, just because I've got the handy phone number to help with that. And I do know like when you call like the travel line, they do want like, you know, like our travel ID and stuff like that. So they do know that we are actual travel agents working with a client. And that is one big benefit about using a travel agent. And you know, yes, you can book your trip online and you can book your dining reservations, but then there's just little things, that tips and tricks that are just helpful. You know, it's another thing, like I have tried several different restaurants, and it's something that I'm, you know, slowly entering more and more. The more we go, the more I'm trying different places and doing different things with my son and doing different things on our trip and staying different places. But I have started to create like email lists that I'm sending to my clients, and I revamp them every time after a trip, and I, you know, give them my top recommendations for each resort, or not resort, but each park, Disney Springs, some quick services here, some little tips and tricks we liked. And so that's one thing about using a travel agent. That's just, it's key. It's great to have. And I will always share that information with my clients, and I just love it. So I will put right in this little area in a minute the screen recording of how to do it on your mobile app. It's going to be so simple, just as easy as it was on the computer. You're going to find the little tab, and then you're going to go through that, pick the dining reservations, dining availability. You're going to select your date, how many people, and then you're going to select which restaurant you want. You can again do the filter where you pick which park you want them on. And then once you do that, obviously time frame. There's what time frame, park you want, how many people, the date you want. There's so many filters you can put in there. Character, breakfast, etc. Again, same thing on the mobile as it does on the phone or on the computer. You're going to go through that, select, and then once you select all of that, you're going to go through and select your restaurant. You can also click on each restaurant. You can do the same thing on the computer also with it. And you will be able to actually view the menu for the restaurants. Like this one, the California Grill that I was going to do on the mobile app. You can see that it's like a preset menu, which a lot of the character breakfasts are, or character meals anyway are, where it's almost either it's family style and they bring one whole set of stuff to your table, or it's going to be a buffet. A lot of buffets for the character breakfast, character dinings, I guess you could say. And then so you can see the menus and kind of see what is offered, if it's something you're going to eat, your kids are going to eat, you know, etc. And I like that you just tap on it and then you can go back and reverse, and then you can see the time available to book if you want to book your reservation from that. When you like looked at the menu, like, oh, this is what I want. I'm going to pick your time again, just like normal, and it's going to ask you phone number, just like that. It's going to also ask you again for the credit card for the cancellation fee if you cancel in that time period. And then, yeah, same thing. You can modify and cancel your reservations all on the app, just like you could on a computer, which the convenience of it is so nice. Like to have that availability to be on the go and do it, or, you know, in your room at the resort and it's, you know, that morning and you're like, okay, change of plans today. We've decided we're not doing this versus what we originally had planned, you know, 60 days out. It's hard to plan a trip 60 days out and be like, okay, my toddler's going to be in the mood to sit down at 2 p.m. for this kind of dining. Like, trust me, I will book restaurants, you know, 60 days out for our vacation, and then the morning of, day of, week of, I'm changing it because I can just tell by his vibe that we're not either going to make that reservation or we're not going to make it through that reservation and sit still. Or I just know that, like, food-wise, like, we're just not feeling that kind of reservation. We're not kind of feeling that food. We're not feeling the sit-down. We're feeling quick for the evening. We're feeling, you know, doing something different. And I'll either change it completely to a different time. I'll change it completely to a different restaurant. Or I will just cancel it and, you know, we pick something else and we go from there. And you can also, you know, the morning of, I've done that where it's, you know, I've canceled what we've had for the day, or we didn't have anything planned that day because I just wasn't sure up in the air what we were going to be doing. And then turned around and like got on the app at the resort and been like, okay, what do you want to do tonight? Okay, let's go to Disney Springs tonight. Okay, cool. Let's get on the app, and I break it down to this evening time frame. I break down how many people, I break down Disney Springs, and then like I look, and usually there's something, you know, I have never gotten on and not been able to find any dining reservations anywhere. There's something. Disney has so much to offer that there's always something that even if those last minute changes, you can find a dining reservation. And again, they also have like the walk up. I do know it shows you some of them that says join like walk up now kind of thing. And so that was kind of nice that you can add that to it and do that. And most restaurants do have one if there's availability. Now, if they're super crazy busy, no, they're not going to have availability. Like, I don't know. I mean, Friday, Saturday, Sundays, maybe you're not going to see as much of availability walk up as you are going to on a random Tuesday or Wednesday night on some of these restaurants. But yeah, the walk up list is an option if you want to go that route. Highly don't recommend it unless you're on that like not sure how your night's going to go kind of thing. I would rather see people make reservations and either modify them or cancel them in that time frame of like the week of their trip, just so that they have something secure if that's what they want to do, especially if it's one of those restaurants where you're like, this is what we want to do, this was on our plans, we've been looking into this restaurant, we really want to do a character, my son or daughter really wants to meet this character, like this is top priority. So like that's something that like that 60-day out thing is great, because it's like, yes, we need to book that today. And so that's one of those perks of that too. So it's nice to have. So I got to thinking about this a minute ago when I was filming prior to the packages you can get, because they've got, you know, like Hollywood Studios has one, and it's for the Fantasmic show at night, and I think it's called just the Fantasmic, I think, package or something like that. But I'm going to show you how you can book those too. So with that, you're going to get your dining reservation, and it could be a lunch dinner kind of thing at Hollywood Studios. There's select restaurants that offer it. Also, you can do it with the dining packages with, you know, having the dining plan. So there's select restaurants that are going to offer it, which I believe we can change that in the filter. So we're going to mess with that in a minute. But, so you get that, you get your reservation, and like I said, it could be any time of day. You're going to get a ticket, and it's going to be like a return ticket to come back for one of the shows that night. Some nights they show 2 shows, some nights there's only 1. But you're going to get a return ticket, and you bring that ticket back to you to the line when you're going into the show. And you get kind of like a reserved special seating area with that. So it's like for dining at these restaurants doing the package deal. When you book that, now you have to book the package deal through the dining app or through the, you know, website. You can't just be like, I want this when you get there. No, you've got to pre-book that. And once you pre-book that, then you're going to get that little ticket. So then that night you can come back and do that. I do believe there's certain ones for like Epcot. There's certain restaurants like around the world, which we've never done this one, where you can get the firework package where you get to see fireworks from a certain seating area and you come back. Now with those, I do believe those you dine during that kind of thing, like where it's a set menu and then it's like in the evening time. That's not like the one at Hollywood Studios where you can dine any time of the day and then get a ticket to return. No, that one I think you do, like Rose and Crown offers one, I do know, and I've looked at it, and it's a certain price per person, and I think you get a menu and then you eat at that time, and then like the fireworks happen, and so like you're already seated in that area. So let's go ahead and take a look at that, and let's see how, I'll show you how we book one of those. So we're going to turn you towards my computer again. Okay, so we're going to do 4. Okay, so here it is. It's going to be this Fantasmic dining package. So you can enjoy a meal at 4 of the restaurants and experience the show with VIP seating. So you can't just select like a dining. So yeah, 50's Prime Cafe is in there, so it says right here. You can't just select on here and then just assume that you're going to get it. You have to select this package right here in the booking. And then you're going to check availability. Okay, and it's going to take me back to selecting. Okay, yeah, and like August 16th is already unavailable, so I don't know if there's either not a show that night or it's just already booked. So we're going to do the 13th like we had originally planned. And yeah, so then it's going to show a more of a limited time frame actually, because I feel like this restaurant had a little more for dining options. But yeah, so it's going to show you just these 3 restaurants actually. So the 4th restaurant must not have anything available. And then from there on, it's going to be the exact same. You're going to click, you know, your time frame you want. Let's do 11:45 lunch. And then it's going to show you that you have the first show. So it's going to be for the first show of it, VIP seating. So there must be 2 that night. And so you're going to get all that. It's going to show you. Again, it's going to be just the same as the rest of them. You're going to continue. My thing wants me to relog back in. Let's see if it saved my password. Oh, it did. Perfect. Okay, cool. And then you're just doing the same thing. Phone number, credit card, confirm. Ta-da. Pretty easy. And those are kind of cool. So then let's go back and see what other... I believe there's one at... Let's see... Let's go back. Let's do a random Tuesday. Let's see if it'll show with all of the parks. Or do we need to filter? So we need to filter it. So then maybe dining events. Yes. Okay. Okay. Oh, so that's the dessert party that's going to happen at Magic Kingdom. You can book. Now, this is not a meal. They are going to be like you get special treats. Kind of just desserts. It's just kind of like it says, dessert party. And then you supposedly get a special VIP seating for the fireworks for that also. Again, I've heard mixed reviews on that, and I have not tried that myself yet, just for the price of it. And having a younger one, it's not been something we've looked into yet. Okay, so now you've got the firework experience here. Okay, then you've got like this tequila experience. So this is going to show you all of these. Okay, so then the Fantasmic dining package, Epcot. Oh, there is a dining package for the Food and Wine Festival concert. And then the... okay, there's the Rose and Crown one that I was talking about. Okay, yep, it is. You grab a dinner on the lakefront patio and you get the view of the fireworks. So as far as I'm concerned then, the Fantasmic dining package is the only one that is... There's 4 restaurants you can choose from, and then you get a VIP seating ticket to return time kind of thing. The rest are kind of events that you eat or do something at that point of time, versus this one, you can do it prior to, and then you get the show after. So yeah. So there is a little bit of a glimpse for you guys on how to book your dining either on the computer or on the app for you, with a little bit of information just for the difference of what doing it yourself versus like a travel agent versus even just having a travel agent and still doing it by yourself. I would 100% recommend that. You know, you can do it either way and they're both great, but that's just kind of a glimpse into it. So thank you for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys found this a little information video to be helpful for your next Disney trip. And if you liked it, I'd love for you guys to subscribe and like this video. Thank you.